Yeah, I can hear you. That you you're the you're the television channel for the Lost Modernists. Wait a minute, I wish I could get this to stay. I wouldn't have, no, it's okay. It's okay. This is really an honor. I was just I made a little joke about the Lost Modernists losing me today, and that's what you saw, and you thought you'd surprise me. That wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. My name is Rick Harsch. You know that. Ah, you read Eddie Vegas. Okay, and well, thank you, thank you. I've not gotten. I've got one bad review, but there was no detail about it. One guy, Goodreads. Yeah. Uh, and one interview, you saw that YouTube? Really? Okay, well, it's true. Yeah. The interviewer accused me of being sexist, and I wrote a lengthy reply. Oh yeah, of course that is in the YouTube video. Yeah. Okay. Well, what how I got into the press? Well, that's a long story. Do you really want to hear the whole? No, you don't. Okay. I don't want to really even talk about it. Well, I'm losing you. I don't have I've lost the. There we got it. Okay. I wish I could get this thing to. Oh. Okay. Um, my it's Corona Samizdat, Corona/Samizdat, and the reason is because the Corona times we give a little bit of a deal to people from the United States. My first books were a little cheaper, well, actually significantly cheaper than they would have been had I stayed with the other press. And then all the subsequent books have been pocket books, as you know. And you know, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. I will keep you up to date. I The latest book is by the Jeff Bursey. You know Jeff Bursey. He's also lost and a modernist, and there's really little more. This is called the Unidentified Man at Left of Photo, and what I love about the cover is that all the llamas are looking, and because it's a pocketbook, it's very small, and so it's like well, we had to make it this small, we had to cut the man out of the left of the photo. I keep losing you if I don't. Right, okay? You can hear me, okay? I can hear you, okay? It's just I guess the visual's not that important. I mean, look at I'm just a guy. So yeah, um, right, right. No. There was one before this. You you knew that this was yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, it is out now. It is out. It's 11 euros in Europe because we thought we'd charge more because we had to pay more because there are color photos, but there are actually so few color photos that if somebody wants to pay the same 10, that's fine with me. Um, no, we did this. This is a book. It's called Arjun and the Good Snake, being an epidemiological account of 6 weeks in India without alcohol. I think a lot of people missed this one, but yeah, it's one of my favorite books. And I did joke on, yeah, it's the one I joked about. Zachary Tanner did the cover, and he's also read a couple of my books at least, including this in the. I wonder if I have the. Yeah, this. It was originally published by Amalietti, my Papa Press now, but back then just a press, and this is what it looked like. Yeah, and on the back, you see there's that image on the back closes. I don't want to ruin anything. Never mind. That image on the back is my son and my daughter. My son's wearing no pants because the sand got so, well, anyway. At least it didn't take him out to sea. I caught him before that. But then, he had so much sand in his crack that I had to butt crack. Yeah. What other crack do you think? I mean, he didn't have a crack in his head. I lost the visual. Yeah. What about you? Oh, you have visual. So I don't really need to see you, do I? Well, you might get lost like I got lost. Yeah. So anyway, well, uh, I have had a period as an alcoholic, and during that time, let me just tell you one thing that it's in this book, but one of the most poignant things that I can tell you, and it should have been the end of my alcoholism, but when my son Arjun was, I guess it was before this, so about he was 5, almost 6, the summer that this book was written. I wrote it during that 6 weeks. Yeah, all of it. Yeah. Oh, I could have shown you the notebooks before I started putting. I wish I could show you. The shelves are filled with Corona Samizdat books. This is my warehouse. But yeah, there were 2 thick notebooks filled, and then there are a few passages because I wrote it by hand and I had to type it. And while I was typing it, I was still an alcoholic because after I didn't drink in India, but when I came back, at some point I got drunk again, and there were a few bad moments. But what I wanted to tell you about was that my son, before that, before I wrote this, so when he was 4 or 5 or whatever, there was a grocery store in the next town over, Koper or Kapodistria, and in that store, no, that's Trieste. I don't. No, I'm not being condescending. Please, no. Joyce was probably visited. Yeah, right. Capodistria is the name of a character in Durrell's Alexandria Quartet. Yeah. So yeah, anybody can make that mistake. Don't feel bad. You're. We're all going to be lost modernists anyway. This thing is really starting to. How long is this going to take? Because no, I have all the time in the world. I'm just wondering if I should grease my ear because this is creating a bit of a chafe. It's chafing. Okay, so there's a big store. Isel is a small town, so is Koper, but the port of Slovenia is in Koper. And so when we went shopping for certain things, we would go there. And a big store, your basic big store. And there were 2 good liquor aisles, and they were my favorite aisles. And I remember one time, me and Arjun were shopping there by ourselves. And something about his behavior in the liquor aisle, he didn't say anything, he didn't do anything, but I guess I detected a slight moping. And I asked him, do you don't like this aisle? I mean, it's my favorite one. And no, and anyway, it came out that it was because of the liquor, and he'd put 2 and 2 together. Once in a while, Daddy was drunk out of his fucking mind and maybe behaving crazy, and it wasn't just because the toys were further down. It was strictly because of the alcohol. But anyway, some of this is a book about some really dark things, but the mood of the book is also there's a great deal of Indian metaphysics, and that is there are a lot of things that are strangely connected. Alcohol and venom. It's about poisonous snakes. There's a lot about cobras in here, and other venomous snakes in India, but mostly cobras. It's cobras. You see a cobra. See the cobra on the spine? Yeah, that's an actual. I touched that cobra. First one I ever found in the wild. I went with a. I get if I hit the mouse, you come back. If I hit it again, you go away. Yeah. Okay, that's what you're gonna do to get rid of me. uh, lose your modernist. Anyway, what I wanted to say was that they there's a metaphor from Shankara, a philosopher of the 800s in India, and it's the serpent and the rope. And I won't give it away, and I won't explain it at length or in detail. Let one of my readers do that. But that's an abiding image in this, and the whole concept of Maya that people misunderstand as simply illusion. It's not so simple, although it isn't very difficult either. It's just not that. But it's the serpent and the rope is the best metaphor to explain Maya. And I've always been snake crazy. My son was snake crazy. He's still snake crazy. And so this is a book about the poison of alcohol, the venom of, but it's also about the venom and poison of colonialism. You wouldn't believe what an asshole Vasco da Gama was. He was a murderous person. Some of the ugliest things I've ever read, and I've read a lot about Vietnam and so on, but some of the ugliest things I've ever read were about Vasco da Gama on his second trip to India. And he's considered a big shot because he supposedly found the way to India, but that's not true. He didn't even discover the route around Cape Horn that had been discovered. And once you get around Cape Horn, and back then, especially in the 14th, 15th century, 14th century even, and the trade had been going on for even 1,000 years before that, Indian Ocean trade. So as soon as you get around Africa, you can get to India. All he had to do was hire someone, a pilot, to take him across the Arabian Sea. So Vasco da Gama was really not important in the least in any way in history, except for what he's not known for, which is completely upsetting the existing trade system between Eastern or Western India and the Middle East and Africa, and the bloodthirsty way. I mean, we're talking about setting people on fire, cutting noses off, killing people by the hundreds. It's some pretty gruesome stuff, and that's in the book as well. Yeah. The monkey drinking, that was kind of my idea, but Zach, there was actually, the monkey was drinking a soda, and that is a metaphor that's used in the book. The East meets West, Indian monkey drinking a Pepsi Cola, and then, to decide whether or not it's a good influence or a bad influence, we see what's he going to do with that plastic bottle. Is he a good environmentalist? Nah, he flings the bottle on the ground. So West wins, and it's bad for everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you see, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, let's schedule a real interview. I thought this was like, you just wanted to talk and let me know that. Oh, I see. I thought we were doing an interview right now. I went into interview mode. God, how fucking rude of me. A lost modernist like myself, I don't want to be lost. So, anyway, Arjun and the Good Snake is the one you missed, and I don't know if you'd call this a modernist book or not, but I really don't care. It's one of my favorite books. It's a memoir, and it deals very frankly with some very ugly things about myself that I think I've overcome. And it's a book that I can still cry when I. There you go. Oh well.